Hello, so the question's been raised by a few people. How well do certain masks work with helmets? Now obviously, like with the hat video yesterday, I can't test all my masks with every kind of hat imaginable. But what I've got here is 3 different helmets, which I'll go over in a second. And I've also going to use 3 different masks. Now I'm not going to bother using any helmet style masks like GP5s in this video, simply because I'm pretty certain they will work with any kind of helmet whatsoever, because the rubber on the mask is so thin and there's no like ridges or bulges near the top of the masks. So what I'm going to use is the Israeli M15, the Polish MP4B and the Polish MP5. So the same masks as yesterday, just the GP5 has been swapped with an M15, and I've got 3 helmets. So let's just quickly go over the helmets. So I have a US M40 style pot helmet, or M1 helmet, whatever you want to call it. I think, yeah, M1 is the technical term. This isn't actually an American M1 though, this is a, I think, Norwegian copy, but it is fundamentally an M1 helmet. You know, the famous pot helmet that America used for absolutely ages. These helmets are going to be a bit dusty, so excuse that, because all the helmets I have are stored in mostly 1 or 2 areas and they're prone to catching dust. For our modern helmet, we have a British MK6 Ballistic Nylon helmet. These are falsely sometimes advertised as Kevlar helmets, however these are definitely ballistic nylon. This is a very flawed helmet by design, not because of the materials used, but because these helmets apparently had a tendency to slip down when you were trying to aim if you were laying prone. So these aren't great helmets, however I expect it should work fine with most of these masks, but we will find out. And lastly, we have this. I think this is a Mark II Brodie as far as I'm aware. You know, the very old ones, covered in cobwebs as well. Also interesting, apparently these have an asbestos liner in, so this is another thing that Britain love putting asbestos in. No idea which way would be the front of this helmet and which would be the back, but I won't bother putting the strap on with this one because that might be a bit annoying with some of the filters. With all these masks, I'd say if you can't detach the strap and then reattach it, no point me showing you the straps, but there you go, there's a strap on my head like that. Obviously that would go on like that normally. This might be back to front, I'm not sure, they're pretty much identical, but you know, very primitive, essentially World War I helmets used by Britain in World War II as well, until these were eventually replaced, but you know, let's see if it works for masks anyway. So let's do the first mask and go through all the helmets, and then we'll do. So basically, rather than doing a helmet and then swapping every mask, I'll put on the first helmet, try it with the 3. Put on the first mask, try it with the 3 helmets, then, you know, next mask, 3 helmets, next mask, 3 helmets. I'll do it that way. Okay, so the first mask, Israeli M15. Right, that seems to be on securely. Right, so let's try the Brodie to start with, because this is the earliest of these helmets. As I said, I'm not going to be able to get the strap on there, so yeah, that seems to fit pretty well. Probably not as low as it would go if there was not a mask on, but it's not going to fall off too easily, at least. It's kind of wedged onto the mask. So yeah, this Israeli M15 kind of works with a Brodie helmet, if you're using something that primitive with it. Okay, now for the US M1 helmet. Again, I'm just going to try and get the strap tucked inside. Okay, this just about goes over. A bit more problem with this one because bits of the liner want to catch on the top of the mask. However, as you can see, that is actually on now. Yeah, there we go. So again, this is actually less secure than the Brodie, but I'm sure with this, if you wanted to fully adjust the strap, you could actually get the strap loose enough that maybe you could buckle it. Let's just give that a go. Right, that's just about buckled, although very uncomfortably because I've not adjusted the strap for the extra space the mask takes up, but yeah, that's not going to slip off now. So, am I trapped in the strap, or can I get it off? There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, if you adjusted the strap to make it looser, it would work fine on an M1 helmet. Now for the Mark 6 helmet. Let's just get the straps again in a position where I can put them on. I don't think this is going to fit over the mask at all. It's kind of going to do that, but I don't think that's kind of flush with my head, but regardless, let's do the strap up. So somewhere we should have the other bit the mask connects to, which I can't actually find. So it's there, but yeah, this isn't going to fit because with this one you have to pull the strap and then button it once it's through the buckle, and this is definitely not going to even fully extended, that wouldn't be long enough to do that. So this helmet kind of sits securely. That would be relatively secure, I think, even though I don't think it's quite flush properly, but you know, this helmet would actually work with this mask, it would seem. But again, you can't strap it up, so you better hope you're not moving around too quickly or it might fall off. Okay, now for the Polish MP4B. So I'll put this on and do the straps. Again, my vision's now not very good because of how smeared the lenses are in this. Right, that mask is on. Start with the Brodie. As I said, I've got no hope in hell of this strap fitting over the mask, so let's just do it like that. Yeah, that's quite a good fit actually, with the Brodie. So there you go. The Brodie seems to work absolutely fine, other than, again, the strap wouldn't fit over, but that's going to be a common theme, I think, with most masks and helmets. That unless they have a very long extendable strap that you can really adjust, most helmets you can't strap up once you've got the mask on. But for all accounts and purposes, the Brodie will sit quite flushly with this mask. Okay, now for the M1 pop helmet. Let's get the strap handy. Now, in theory, this should work because America used M17s, which are very similar to this mask, and this pot helmet, and as you can see, yeah, that works a treat. Even without me adjusting the strap to make it a bit longer, this does fit over and strap up. But yeah, you've got your iconic sort of GI look of Vietnam with the M17 style mask on the cheek filter mask and the helmet, so you look like a stormtrooper. Of course, when you've got a mask set up like this on, you would only be able to aim as about effectively as a stormtrooper as well. But, yep, there we go. M1 helmets and cheek filter masks seem to work absolutely fine, because of course they were used in combination with each other. So now, this mask, again, I'm not going to even bother trying to strap this up, but let's just get the straps out the way of my head so I can put on the mask. Okay, that kind of works, but the front ridge kind of gets stuck on the outserts on this, and it then doesn't sit flush. So there's going to be a bit more movement than there was with the Israeli mask, but as you can see, it does kind of sit on well enough. Bit of wobble there. Although with helmets, you never actually want them to be super tight to your head anyway, because that means shock from something hits the helmet, it transfers into your head. If there's a bit of space, the helmet does that unless sort of shock is transferred into your head. That's physics. It's the reason medieval helmets didn't actually sit perfectly tight to the wearer's head, because that means they die of a brain injury much faster. But yes, the cheek filter masks seem to work with pretty much every helmet. Again. Okay, the Polish MP5, let's just pop this on. Okay, right, that's on tight. It's pressure checked. So to start with the Brodie helmet, oops, nah, the strap's definitely not going to fit. I don't think this is going to work properly because of the ridge on the MP5. Yeah, this is not going to sit flush simply because the ridge on the mask here stops the helmet fitting of it properly. So yeah, Brodie will not work with the Polish MP5. Right, let's try the M1 helmet. Right, I think that just about works with this. Maybe. Yeah, I can back all that up. As I said, I should make the strap longer really, but yeah, this works in combination with each other just about. Again, that ridge on the helmet, I assume it's a ridge on the gas mask, so I assume that's for NBC suits, so they can make a good seal with the mask. When it comes to helmets, they get in the way a bit, but as you can see, the M1 helmet now does actually work with this gas mask. Let's get that off again. There we go. And now, the modern helmet. Modernish anyway. Around the same time as the Pasket, but nowhere near as good as the Pasket. And I have a feeling this ridge is going to stop it working with this helmet. Yeah. I can do that and it's very uncomfortable, and again that's probably not a good idea for shock absorption, but yeah. So out of all the masks, the Polish MP5 has the most problems, and this won't be exclusive to the MP5. This will be a problem for any mask that has these kind of ridge type things around it. Like the S10 has a smaller one of those. A few masks have things like that, and I'm assuming the actual use of this is for NBC suits, but the two straps here and that ridge will make you have a much harder time getting helmets to work with this, simply because they're likely to catch on stuff like that and not sit flush. Otherwise they seem to mostly work, but again obviously some helmets and some masks won't be compatible, some might cause problems, some will be really good. Generally I'd imagine the military helmet used by whatever army and their gas mask should all be compatible, because that would be very bad design if they're not. It's generally like, obviously if you're using helmets from some nations and masks from some nations, they aren't designed to be that similar. And as I said, I'm not bothered with GP5s or any other Soviet masks in this video, because the hood style helmet masks, because they sit so thinly to the head, they'd just be like wearing any kind of you know, I don't think they'd interfere the helmets at all. Again, with some of them, if they've got straps that you can't unbuckle and rebuckle, they might not work with them. But for the most part, all these helmets do work with the various masks.